Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Workers and the Resources Soviet Republic. This is the Rise of Cornoe and this is our, how many? One, two, third, plus the tunnel, fourth channel crossing over here, plus we've got a channel crossing over there. So lots and lots of infrastructure as always. I love myself a bit of infrastructure. Now, one thing that we're going to have to push in this episode is this area over here. Now, we do have these starting to finish, so this will be great. And now, really, we need to look into getting this, the bulk of this up and running. So let's quickly assign all of this. The construction side of things we will get to. What is this? This was our... This is for gravel. This is for coal. This is for heating. This is a bus station. Okay, so that stuff, I think, may be slightly less important day one. What we want to get up and running is all of this. Because if we do that, we can effectively already use this. So what do we have here? Big storage facilities. Yes, okay. So all of this needs to go. Atomic technical services. I think that should be okay. I need to switch this off. I'm completely over this. So settings, where was it? Game settings. I don't think it's game settings. Warning messages, notifications for traffic jams, notifications for train signal, notifications for police, notifications for citizen crime level, happiness too low, loyalty seems too low, health too low, unemployment too high. It's okay. Ambulance is not arrived. Yes. Heating problem. Yes. Electricity problem. Yes. Notification for building fires. That's interesting. So why are we getting urgent notifications important? Maybe I should just switch off these custom notifications. So if we go here, right? Pollution warning. If we pop on over to this one, I think this is somewhere where we said notify up. So let's switch that one off. And maybe that actually solves the problem altogether. And we'll just remove that custom notification. We've got high pollution levels all around. So anyway, let's leave that be and see if that kind of helps us out a little bit. There's just too many notifications. And I know it's probably tweak around, but all of them seem quite important. And there's another one. Let's just go and see which is this one. This one has the same thing, again with notifications involved. So let's just clear all of those out, and then hopefully we'll end the pollution there. Now, pollution seems to be okay. Lifespan change is reasonable. What is our lifespan? Our average lifespan is good. Pollution 13% is a bit high. Now here, we should have enough wardens. It may just have been one or two. Yeah, so we've got way too many prisoners over here. And we also had a bit of a comment regarding crime can also be created by not having enough orphanages, or because people without that upbringing, gets a bit of a life of crime, really. And this is, what is this? Let's just have a look. So this is age 20. So it's just someone who should be moving out, but I'm guessing we do not have housing for them. Unemployed workers, that's fine. What are we looking for? Yeah, adults still living with parents. So we're in desperate need of additional places for people to live. Let's quickly have a look what we're doing about that at the moment. I think we've built all of these out already. And we've got garbage container overfilled. Oh, what we needed to do here, just to make sure this is actively working, is we need to put a few more little paths in place here. Because I think once we do that, for instance, and once we kind of run this one out over that way, about there, I think is a good idea. So let's go ahead and make a maneuver on that. What I will do is I'll pay for this one because I believe that means that we will have access there. Perfect. So that should not be a big deal further. And this will give us sports access. So that's good. So that will work. What is this? Yeah. This is overflowing as well. Hang on. Don't have. Oh, sewage is overflowing. Did we not resolve? Hang on. We've got the sewage here, right? Is that not connected? What is the situation here? Ooh. Hang on. This shouldn't be a problem, right? Just have a look here. Okay, hang on. Let's have a look. This could be a bit of a problem. We are after sewage flow, please. Must mean this is not connected, right? Let me have a quick look here. It's the only thing it can mean is that that's not connected. That's all I guess it can mean. So if I grab this guy, yeah, it's not connected. This is the issue. Okay, so give me a little bit of a pull back there. Okay, up to there. I'm gonna pay for this because this is something that bit of a glitch. Okay, so that's out of the way. Let's put that back quickly. There we go. Pay for that. And I guess if we switch on the sewage again. Yep. All cleared out. No further sewage problems. Okay, perfect. So that is all good. Again, these things just, I think this mod is a little bit of an issue. Anyway, get out of our heads over here. So anyway, we will look at further work with orphanages in a bit. In the meantime, let's just have a quick look. I don't think we are struggling with heating over here, I think. I'm not necessarily going to add more units just yet. This side is overflowing. This side, we've got a little bit more room to maneuver. So maybe what we can do is we can add another building, a couple of buildings or something over here. What we did some of these. Let's grab some of those, right? They're not too big, right? It's fairly small. Anyway, we just want to make sure that we're doing ourselves a little bit of a favor by continuously adding some more. We'll do one like that, and we'll flip one around over here. And I guess that's going to be fairly tight and reasonable. We'll just do that. What we will also do is we will just put a little path in place. So it's good to just, I don't really want to go too crazy with construction activities because we need to get that forward base of operation in play. So let's do that and let's get underway with that. We might not build it right away. Anyway, let's keep the game going. And what we're going to do, this is not too urgent. Hopefully they can do the reconstruction here fairly quickly, and then let's get started with some construction activities over here. So let's see. These guys are going to have to travel pretty far to get moving on some of these things. Okay, so let's throw in absolutely everything to the helicopters at the moment because they are going to be the easiest to get to this. And I think we'll kind of sort it like that. So let's let's cancel construction here and there for the time being because we don't actually need any of this. So what we'll do is we'll focus our attention on this. We'll cancel that one. We'll keep this going. What is going to be a problem here, however, is firefighting. Firefighting is going to be a problem. Okay, so this is technical services. So let's give ourselves a little bit of room. Okay, so that's fine. Technical services, we can try and bring a few things in here. We can also try, well, let's set these up for success as well. So we've got our construction activities in this area. So Lipsipol. Yeah. So if you've got some naming suggestions for this new area. So this is Susselgrad Canal. And this will be forward base of operations. So it's not going to have anything to do with Susselgrad. So if you've got some naming suggestions for this new forward base of operations, do let me know. In the meantime, what we can have a look at is whether we've got any vehicles available to make to come on over this general direction. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll grab a couple of snow plows. Okay, that's okay. Probably at least like three of them. Yeah, let's start with like 4 snow plows. What we'll do is we'll grab all of these dumpers. We'll grab. We'll have a look at that. Grab all of these mixers. And we'll grab all of these covered holes. And we'll grab some of these guys, the excavators. It's at least 2 excavators per area. There we go. Anything else over here? Yeah, more mixers. We'll grab a few of these guys. There's a lot happening, right? So we'll start by moving a few of these things out, and then we need to set up. Some more for the construction, really. Okay, but anyway, let's start moving some of these guys out here. So let's start it on this side. So let's get that one over here. Do 2 bulldozers. That's okay. I don't know if we need 2 bulldozers, but 2 excavators is okay. Then what we can do is we can come to the next one, get a couple of more excavators in there. Okay, we need a covered vehicle, covered hull. I think we're going to start with just the 1 covered hull each for the time being. Mixers, we probably need something like 4 mixers per. Okay, we'll get the next mixer to come in here. We need something like 4 dumpers as well. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we've got an extra one here. We'll bring that to the next one here. We need our snow plows to come in over here. 1, 2, 3, and 4 of them. So we're moving vehicles out over this way. There's tons of room there now. Now let's see. We need road cranes. I think we are building road cranes because we needed it somewhere else as well, right? I am going to go ahead and move these guys to forward base of operations as well, because we really don't need them over here. So just bring these guys over, not for the maintenance. For maintenance, these don't seem to be doing much. So let's get there and get this one here. I think we already have one of these here, so we'll add this one there. Next one to go over there. Okay. That's fine. We need some road cranes and a variety of different other things as well. Okay, so let's have a look. What's busy being built here? I think we can. Okay, let's just have a look. So yeah, we're running out of. Oh, there's some pavers and the likes ready to go here, which is good. But let's put a few more things in the queue here. So we need open holes. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think that should be the trick. Then we would like to also, we have got some concrete mixes. We need a couple of rollers maybe. 1, 2. 3, 4 rollers. We've got a few pavers. Let's add a few more pavers to the mix there. Pavers, 2 more. 2 more pavers there. We need buses. We've got a few here, but we probably need something like at least 12 of them. Okay, road cranes is a big important one for us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 maybe of them. Be a good idea. I think we need more dumpers. Bulldozers, pavers, prison bus, refrigeration, road crane, rollers. I think we're okay, really. So, concrete mixers, covered hole dumpers, excavators. Let's get a few dumpers. About 6 more dumpers there. Actually, let's just make it 8 of them. Got the open holes. Got the buses coming in. Probably can do with a few more concrete mixers. Yeah, I think that should hold. And let's do a few more covered holes as well. Excavators. Yeah, let's be okay for now. Covered holes. Let's do maybe another 4 of them as well. So there's a fair bit going on. Oh, here we go. I think we have, but anyway, covered holes are in constant need to be moving. But do we need all of these mixers? Yeah, I think we do. So we'll just leave it as is for the time being. All of this is underway. We're hopefully moving through this pretty quickly. Machine replacement in progress. I hope I can kind of assign that to be doing it a little bit quicker. Who's doing this? Let's assign some of these maintenance officers as well. Just bring in more people to come and do the work there for us. Wardens, yeah, prisons, wardens, all these kind of things underway. Trains, we've got another train or 2 ready to go. We should be pretty good with some of these things. Can I maybe increase this a little bit so it goes a little quicker? That would be useful. Lots of pollution happening over here. Okay, now let's go and have a look at how we're doing. Actually, as we go in that general direction, we may as well grab a few more mixers. At least 4 more, I think. Okay, I think that's kind of okay. Did I want to move a paver or 2? No, let's just get a few mixers out over there. We'll leave the rest in place for the time being. Let's see these maintenance and reconstruction activities. They are bothering me. So we've got some vehicles here. Here we go. We may as well start moving a few more in here. Yeah, we've already moved all the covered holes. Get another one over there. So yeah, these vehicles are here ready to go. Now, what we don't have at the moment is we're not bringing in much, and we don't have any buses here either, but bringing in people to here at the moment might be a little bit challenging. So I guess having the helicopters do most of this is probably about right, unless I think let's bring a few buses in here, and what we can do is we can come and pick up some people over on this side. Let's grab me those buses. I'd like to do at least like 3 buses per. So 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, we've got the 3 buses ready to go. So we'll move them to that first one, and we'll give that first one the ability to bring workers over to come and support, at least at the moment. It's still early days for us with regards to these activities here. But let's see. Let's try and tell you can go and get your workers from over there. Okay. And I would like to see you auto searching within a small area here. But we're also seeing that you're not getting any fuel. That is interesting because we don't have any power over on this side, which will be an immediate concern for us. So let's bring over power. Where did our power end up? We do have power all the way out here. Let's have a quick look. If I were to just grab something large like this one, we can tie in over there, and we can tie in over here. So let's just see, how does this look like? Our setup here was we got two to come in. One is running over in that direction, and this one is effectively looping through this area. So I guess the plan would be that we would aim to continue the loop. Right, so we've got the one here that can cut across here, run up here, and the other one will be running up here. I guess that's reasonable, right? So let's find ourselves something fairly standard. So let's pop back upstairs and we'll see about this. So now what we need to do is just find stuff that's fairly sensible in terms of where we can tie in. Yeah, it's not really going to be anywhere else but here. Grab one on that side. Then we'll need to start running it in here. This might be a bit of a challenge. Like that. And we'll also have one kind of in here somewhere. But it's going to be difficult to get, because we don't have roads that go out here. So we might have to do some interim arrangements. And then what we'll do is we might do... shall we say something like this? Yeah, we don't want this loop to go on, beyond reason. Okay, but we want to kind of close it out, and we will need some stuff over here. So let's do that one there. I think that's okay. And then what we'll do is we'll find ourselves a way to get this loop. Oh, we can't actually squeeze it in there. I think that'll be fine. What we'll do is we'll run some infrastructure down this road network here, and we'll come and tie back in this way. We'll do something like maybe there. I think that should be okay. And then what we'll do is we'll come back over on this side and. Yeah, we will need to do a little bit of this. Okay, and I guess, is that okay? We don't necessarily need much more over here. We can just run a couple of things like that. So I guess that's what we're doing. Okay, so that's the plan. That is our power loop over here, and that'll be the end of the Susselgrad. Well, this is the Susselgrad extension, really, because we're using the same grid. Anyway, that's okay. So what we'll do in the meantime, we'll try and connect all of these things via some of these temporary road connections, right? So something like this, something like that. We will also. Ooh, what are we doing? What I'm interested. I think what I'll do is I'll do this. We'll go down this way. Do that, and what we'll do is we'll come down there, we'll tie it in here, and now all of those have connection points. That one, well, we may as well do that at some stage, but this is going to be okay for now. We'll tie it in over there, and yeah, that should kind of work. So now all of them should be accessible, and what we'll also do is grab ourselves the high voltage power lines. Now let's go underground. We'll run this one straight through there. It should be okay. We're going to go all the way underneath and through there. That should be fine. I'm going to bring the high voltage line up here. And we're going to go over there. Can we... That's a little... I'd rather do that. Still? There we go. Well, we'll do some of this. Then we'll come up here and tie it. No. Get that one out for me, please. Now, let's try and do that again. This time around, like so. Like so. And now we'll turn it, take it in. That. Like that. Fire extinguished. We're missing a road to that piece. We'll go there and we will tie in over here. Okay, so all of that should be okay. So we'll get going. That's about 1 million rubles worth of construction activities there. Let's just be sure to tie this one in like so. Okay, so that gives us a bit of a power grid piece of work that needs to start happening. It is a fairly substantial little upgrade, that. But what we can do is let's try and assign helicopters onto this activity. Not cancelling, but assign construction. Start work on all of this, please. Not that, but this. There we go. There we go. And there we go. Okay, so that's pretty good. What we can also do is we can assign a little bit of these guys over here also, so they can start to come in and work on these closer areas with hopefully the helicopter. They should be fairly accessible over here also. What? They can't get there? How come? How come they can't get here? Is that not, what is this? I don't know why that kind of happens. I really don't know. But anyway, you can come and help with this as well. Now, what we will also need to do is provide a little bit of a fuel station. I was wondering, I mean, a fuel station over here makes a lot of sense because we've already got this stuff here. But this will need to be powered anyway. So we will be running power to these areas to power it. A fuel station over here would make sense, but that might be a little bit... One over there. I guess we need one in this area. And to be honest, let's do... If someone is coming... Are we going into winter again? It just feels like it's constantly winter. I can't imagine having to deal with winter again. It does give me a little bit of pause. On this side might be an option if we can get it to work. If we were to say we'll grab a... And now we've got lots of other ones in here that I used to have as mods. I'm not going to do any of those funny things, but a small one, maybe a medium one over here. Can we... This thing, it's tying in... No, we don't want that. But I'm kind of tempted to do this. This is a bit of a differentiation, really. It's tying into that. That is really interesting. Anyway, I guess this will work, right? Let's put that one in there. This will be awkward because I'm gonna pay for that. I think this will work. We'll see. people come in, turn in there. It's not the ideal location. We've got a construction office ready to work it. We may need to assign helicopters and the likes over here. And then we will need to give ourselves a little bit of power. So I think I might do a small power installation from here as a starting point. So let's do that. Hopefully that will get us a few things. Apply that there, and what we'll do is we will provide a little bit of a power connection via underground. I think via underground. We'll just tie it in on that side, right? Show me underground, please. Oh, it actually doesn't want to do that. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll tie it in on this. I mean, we can make it work on the other side. Let's just go underneath, right? If we go, what am I doing? What's the button? Ah, there we go. Q. Can't believe I play this game like so much and I never remember certain things. Let's do that. We'll go above ground again, and we'll also make sure to assign this construction here as well as maybe that office, just so we can get this up and running. So hopefully when we have some fuel ready to go here, these guys will start running. The train is waiting too long. Ooh, that's not the kind of train I would want to wait too long. What is happening? Who is... Ooh. Yeah, this is not working. This is not working. Yeah, this is obviously not working. Can you please go there? So where is this? Is the Vasastavi? So just go to the start of your line, please. Thank you. Turn around. Go on your way home. This is dangerous because nothing is working now, right? So this guy, I just want to check. So tell me, this guy. I don't want this guy to be going there. So from this line, I would like to just delete that stop. Platform is standard. No idea. Anyway, get rid of that one, please. And then we'll just make sure to deliver whatever we can over there. So I think that should be okay. So if I have a look at this line again. Yeah, so we're not going to have already doing that. So coming back in here is probably not a good idea. Okay. Hopefully that will see us run. But yeah, that's crazy. Anybody on board? Oh. Building on fire. Sports Hall and Cornoe Harbor should be okay. Employment is too high. 66 workers without a job. I think it might be because our trains were stuck over here, so they didn't end up working for like a day or two. I think that's probably the issue. Now all of this should be moving. Yeah, that's why if a train is waiting too long, that's a sure sign that something is wrong somewhere and you need to fix it. Okay. Oh, that ended up being built. That's okay, but we want to focus our attention on the activities here. Ooh, look at this. We are making good progress there. Okay, making good progress. Let's just see. This is still underway, right? Yeah, this is all underway, so it should be quite useful. These guys should be working, doing their thing. Okay, excellent. Okay, all of this is underway. Lots of construction activities. Should be, well, I think we're being delayed in terms of some things that's happening. What is going on? Okay, yeah, construction is underway everywhere. We're probably just short on a bit of workers. Have we managed to fix these rails? Up to where we, I think up to where we can, it's been done. So that's okay. That should work fairly well once all of this stuff is up and running. We do need to get our power out over there. So yeah, we're still miles away from getting that completely sorted out. What I might start having a little bit of a look at is just our setup over here for our new planning. So what do we need? If we want to bring the chemical plants in here, we do need at least a cargo rail. What is this? It's interesting. Yeah, anyway, I'm not going to do those. What I would like to do is probably these ones. This is a pretty reasonable one. So if we're bringing this guy over the top here, and the plan would be that we would need, don't need it to be crazy accessible. So if we were to just say do this, right? We'll mess around with it a little bit. So let's do that as a starting point. Now, what do we need if we are bringing in the big chemical plant? Chemicals, we need a bit of everything really. So wood, it can store a fair bit, but I'd rather do a bit of a buffer on it. So we need gravel. Ooh, we need gravel. We need oil is going to be pumped in. So we need crops and we need wood. And it's a storage of that is just, I'm kind of tempted to maybe forego, a lot of the storage and just store within the facility itself. So what are we using? We're using about 10 tons of stuff. So this is about 15 days worth of supply, right? So 15 days worth of stuff being stored here. That is an interesting one. And I do wonder if that is enough of a storage buffer. We will need a station like this because we need to pick up chemicals. So at the very least, what we'll do is we'll provide a storage facility for chemicals, which will also then, of course, double up as a storage facility. Well, it'll go from the one to the other and then go on to plastics, right? So if we go a sizable warehouse, okay, so let's do a little something like this, maybe. Okay, and then we'll do another one. Let's flip it around. So we'll get it nice and tight. Let's do that, for instance, okay? We don't necessarily need these to be going together, so let's demolish that. Then if we were to do plastics, right? Plastics, I wanted to do a nice big, yeah, we can't do that unless we do 2 of them. This might be okay. 6.6 tons. So this is the standard. That needs, yeah, maybe we just do the standard one. Try and deal with that. Is that going to be sufficient amount? I think this is going to be sufficient amounts of plastic, really. So if we were to say, what we'll do is this. All right. We need to do. We need to do something like that. So let's just play around with it a little bit. Okay. So that's too long. Okay. We'll have to make a plan about this. So if we do that, right? The other one, then the big guy that we want is this one, right? So the plan would be, wow, this is huge. Yeah, no, it needs to go. It needs to go even deeper into this area. If anything, we might flip it around so that plastics is on this side where it's a little bit narrower. So let's start off by providing ourselves this massive thing here. Got oil. Already got oil. Let's start off by saying this, right? Where are we? Oh, yeah. There's room here. If we go here, yeah. So let's do a bit of this. It'll add a little bit more for us. This area. There's another pollution monitor doing its thing. Still haven't switched off all of them. Anyway, we'll give ourselves a little bit more room in this area. Okay, now the idea is if we do that, okay, and then we could also do, yeah, so from a rail perspective, probably a slightly smaller one then. Cargo train station, something like this, maybe a 2-track one. I'll try and do something like that. Where to do this? Okay, so everything else will just be unloaded directly in there. I do wonder, maybe, you know what? Maybe we could. Anyway, we'll have a look at that now. Um, and then over here we will have the warehouses. So give me some warehouses, please. I like the idea of the big ones. We will flip it around. Something like this. Oh, look at all of that. Anyway, we'll do that. And then on this side, we will do kind of the same thing. And from a plastics, so from a, let's just have a quick look. Yeah, so plastics, I mean, what is this one? Airport cargo terminals. Yeah, we still need to do airports. It's still a while away. So if we were a plastic factory, actually, I'm kind of wondering, do I just do the big one, the big plastics factory? And what we'll do is we'll just kind of uh, make sure we've got a smaller supply. That's not going to work. We'll need to flip this guy around in order for this to be working. So, this needs to be. It does no. Let's just demolish this one. Flip it around. Do the other direction. Do that. Do that. Bit of, there we go. I guess something like this. We're gonna struggle though with even with our. Well, we don't need them to connect. What we will need to do is we'll need to connect both there and there. So we will be landlocking ourselves if we do that. Okay, we're gonna have to do a little bit of this. Give me again the storage. Okay, so let's do, maybe we don't need this one. Maybe we can do slightly smaller. This is a lot of chemicals. This is also a lot of chemicals. Let's just go slightly smaller on this one. How do I make this road work? I think I make it work like that. Can I instead do the second one, please? Let's do this. And then what loaders will also do this. I think that'll work. And then just let's just tie these things in a little bit. Yeah, it's always a little bit of trial and error, really. We'll do that, and then we'll, yeah, the idea was to do that, so at least we can get to our various road connections. And then if we wanted to do the chemicals, let's grab the plastics. We'll put the plastics in kind of like so, right? So this means that should all kind of work, right? So then we will have all of everything we need. So what do we need in here as well? So chemicals is fine. We'll pump in oil, and yeah, it's gonna, and then plastics going out this way. Now the question that I had on my mind, okay, then we'll obviously need to do a train platform for some workers, um, which I'm not gonna do on this side. This might be additional road network. Yeah, well that road network is gonna kind of come and run around along this way. I think that's about right. The only other question we have is if we need to store some um, other items here. So we'll need some tracks and the likes in this area. And then the tracks needs to kind of go up here to go to the mine. But anyway, we'll stop there for the moment. And we do need a platform for citizens, right? So at the very least, we need a little something like where did we have it? We don't have the vanilla. These aren't vanilla. I thought some of these were supposed to be now vanilla ones. Anyway, it doesn't look like it. Anyway, we will. This is elevated train and bus station. What does this look like? I mean, I don't want it, but this is a long one. Is it really elevated? Let me just zoom in. Yeah, it is elevated. Oh yeah, there's the well. So the road can go underneath. But anyway, we can't really elevate in this area because we don't have the room. But what we can do is provide a bit of a station. Which one? Which one? Am I using this or I should be using maybe just something like that's not quite what I'm after really. I've been using which ones have I been using? I'm not sure. Anyway, we don't need to use the same ones everywhere, but that doesn't look right. Have I been using these? I've probably been using these ones. They seem pretty good actually. Now on this side, we don't seem to have anything, so we can still do a little bit on this side if we needed to drop off gravel and what and open storage stuff. Open storage stuff can be dropped off over here though. Question mark is do we run this a little bit more this way so we can do that? I don't know. Anyway, but we need a platform of sorts. So that's a big one. Can we do medium? I think medium is the one. Medium. Ah, here we go. Medium, big. Ah, here we go. Let's do. I think that's what we're doing. So railway station. This one? Oh yeah, that's the double. Yeah, I think this is kind of what we've been using. This one has a we can actively bring some stuff in here. So if we were to say do this, okay, so that should be quite workable, and then we can bring in the path over here with like a bridge to go to all of these. That should be fine. We can run tracks through here. We can run tracks in here. And then on this side, we might be able to get away with a aggregate unloading facility, right? Oil, train, aggregate, small one. Aggregate unloading. aggregate unloading. This one. This is the one. Oh, we can go directly in there. That's not, the plan would not be to do that. What we'll do is we'll find ourselves a little spot somewhere over here. Something like this should be okay. We'll be able to go around it. We find ourselves an aggregate storage facility, please. So aggregate storage will be there. I think something smallish is okay. Okay, we'll flip it around so all of our paths are on this one side. We'll do it a little bit like this. Well, I think it makes sense to have it fairly straight like that. So we'll do that as a bit of a starting point. So now it'll unload there and it'll draw in from there. Not passively, actively, it'll draw in when it needs to. And I guess that's kind of the extent of what we can do. The only other thing I thought we might be able to squeeze in here, just want to check how many of these connections do we have on this side. We have 2. So okay, let's try this one more time. Let's space this out a little bit different. So if we provide the first one with this open storage, okay, so let's go with smallish open storage. Open storage. Hang on. This is huge. It's enormous. Cargo warehouse at port. That's interesting. Anyway, that's really interesting. Now, so that's obviously not what we're using. But I was just thinking, we could use something like this, right? If there was something fairly small, 200 tons. Anyway, maybe that's a lot. 400 tons, maybe. 400 tons of wood. Yeah, I think this is about the right size. Now, what we need to... Okay, so what I'm thinking is something like this could work as a starting point. No, let's start off with that. Okay. Okay, so open storage there. Okay, now we go with the bit slightly smaller. So let's do this. Oh, this is never going to work. Never going to work. We're landlocking ourselves straight away. So I guess we need to turn it around, and they need to have a connection out over this. But we don't need that connection, so let's just flip it around. We actively won't be using that connection. So it's only for things like fire access and the like. So let's do it the other way around. Again, we want it there. Okay. We'll grab the next one, and this one needs to go. Now we'll have to flip that around as well. That one would need to go in there, and then we'll flip. No, I think this will have to be the case here. Yeah. Then we'll have the. Okay, well, let's see if we can maneuver that in. We don't need it to go where. Yeah, we do something like that. Give ourselves a little bit of room, and quickly have a look at. Goodness, there we go. Another, and we've got some heating problems. Okay, let's try this one. So this guy needs to just connect to both of these, right? In a way that is sensible and not gonna block any of these things. And that could look exactly like this. Yeah, there we go. So I guess that gives us a little bit of everything here. So let's quickly tie these together. Obviously, I won't build this straight away, but we are kind of going to. This will kind of give us a little bit of play. We can just, yeah, right. So all of these things are tying in together. We've got all of this working. We can have one thing that is now not too obvious is where my little bridge is going to go in. So let's quickly redo this. Let's move it a little bit more. Can't forget to yeah, actually, this is looking probably about right. So, right, there we go. That should be okay. We'll be able to get the bridge across. That'll provide us workers to both of these facilities, and obviously we can kind of manage the productivity levels of this one. And over here we can get some stuff in. So I think that will do. Let's assign all of those. So I guess that's the plan. That's roughly the plan for our new facility in the area. Now, I think that is kind of going to be the end of the episode. So we've given our chemical plant a little bit of thought. The Sisselgrad chemical plant. That should be entieable over there. So these guys are. I'm not sure why they're struggling. But anyway, that should be okay. These guys should be able to tie in here. We should be able to tie in on this side. We should be able to tie in with this guy coming over. I might get a little bit more aggressive with it, to be honest, so it comes nice and close to this. We'll see whether we have any options here. But I guess that should be okay. We'll have the road to come through here. There'll be, yeah, I think that'll be fine. That should be pretty useful, and we should be able to get our workers back and forth fairly quickly. Okay, let's have a quick look at what is going on over here. Construction is moving along quite nicely. This is built. This is powered. It is powered. I like it. Okay, so what that means is we can immediately assign this guy to go and fuel this area. Please go and fill that up with fuel straight away so that these guys can start working and start helping us out in this area. Okay, so that is kind of the plan. All of this is looking pretty good. Happiness is high. Health is high. Snow is coming today. 22 November, I'm pretty sure we're going to see snow today. So I'll leave it there. I think that's the end of the episode, and we're continuing to expand. I'm hoping this will be quite successful. I don't think we're going to need much more than this, but it'll at least help. We should be able to also tie these guys in that way. We'll see what we do with all of these ties and tie-ins. This is pretty complex in this area. Alternatively, we do that. They can still run into that direction via here. So maybe we don't tie back in there, but we tie in over here. But that's not going to work. Anyway, we'll figure that out in the next episode. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, hit that like button. Remember to leave your comments and name suggestions and all these kind of things so that we keep naming and expanding our our republic in the best possible way with cool names and cool areas. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.